Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. Today we're back on the updates 1.87 dev server, and it's time to have a look at the new aircraft or airplanes that are coming to the game. I was going to say aircraft, but I'm actually going to do a separate set of videos for the helicopters. So, let's start off with the Germans. The Americans I don't think got anything new, I can't seem to find anything, so it's time to start here. The Seahawk Mark 100. Now this is the premium rank 5 aircraft that the Germans are going to get. It's a battle rating 8.3 vehicle, which is kind of low. I'm actually kind of surprised, but then again, it's not exactly that fast. What you have from this vehicle is 4 20mm Hispanos that you can find here, and then of course you have the fuel tank self-sealing and the engine in the center, which is the de Havilland Ghost 103 jet with 2400 kilograms of takeoff thrust. And then, of course, we have the pilots in the front. When we look at the armor, the only armor on this machine is the 64mm of bulletproof glass on the front. This machine is also very small, so hitting it could be a little bit of an issue for some people, but not for trained pilots. The big thing that we're looking at the Seahawks for, though, is of course their secondary armament. So since these were more attacker aircraft, you have 2 500-pounders, 4 500-pounders, 2 1000s, you have 16 RP3s, you have 10 AP Mark 1s, 2 500s, 10 AP Mark 2s, 2 500s, 16 RP3s and 2 500s, and AIM 9B Sidewinders. So this might be the lowest vehicle that we have in game, which actually has air-to-air missiles on it, at least from what I can find. And it only has to take them and nothing else as well. So if you want to use it in an aggressive, pilot killing capabilities, you can, which I'm sure a lot of Germans will be very happy about. On top of this, there's a new CL in the game. So we have the CL-13B Mark 6. You can see, look at this wonderful skin that it has. Isn't this a lovely skin? I really like the attention to detail that's come onto the skin. I also like the silver color compared to the other CL that we have in the game, and the yellow top here with the black streaks on it. When we look at the armor profile, it does have some steel right here, along with some bulletproof glass, and a little bit of armor behind the pilot as well. This thing is powered by the Avro Canada Orenda 10 jet. So once again, 2600 worth of thrust, fuel tanks in the wings as well, with a massive fuel tank behind it as well. So I can see this performing very similarly to the other CL, but what is interesting is once again gets those air-to-air rockets. They did say that they were expanding it, so a lot of these vehicles would get, air-to-air rockets on them. Well, it seems like they're staying true to their word. 16 HVARs, you get the 2 1000s, and then you get the AIM 9Bs, which I'm pretty sure are the only ones that people are going to take in this, at least when it comes to air realistic. Ground realistic might be a little bit of a different story. Now it's time to have a look at the new top tier German vehicle. This is the MiG-19S, rank 6, battle rating 10.0. It has access to 3 NR30 30mm cannons. You can see one in the wing here, one in the wing here, and then of course one below here. Now what is staggering about this machine is that it does not get access to air-to-air missiles, but it does get access to a bunch of other stuff. So we're talking about some S5K rockets, 150mm of pen. You can see it has them in little rocket pods on the side right here, so nothing major when it comes to it, but it will be therefore a little bit more useful in ground pounding. On top of this, if we have a look at the X-ray, because I was wondering where is the ammunition for this one coming, and then you can see that it's just all belted up below the pilot, so I thought it would maybe stretch out kind of like how these ones do. No, it's just all belted up in this little bit down here. You can see the pilot and then the 2 massive engines behind it, takeoff thrusts of the McCoolin RD9Bs at 2392, and then of course the max speed of this thing, 1451, is looking absolutely beautiful. The way to describe this is it should be a slightly better accelerating MiG-19, so therefore a hell of a lot of fun, but obviously doesn't have the air-to-air missiles on top of it. Bulletproof glass though of 60 that can keep your pilot alive, also a little bit of other armor which won't really help you that much. Going on to the Soviets didn't have anything new when it actually came to aircraft. Instead, what they had was just a bunch of helicopter stuff, such as cockpits, and we'll cover that in another video. So it's time to have a look at the Seahawk FGA-6. This is the British Seahawk, which is being added. The German Seahawk was an export version, I suppose, of the Seahawk, which was given to the West Germans. Whereas this one is the tried and true British version, which should be exactly the same. 8.3 battle rating once again, bulletproof glass of 64mm, and then of course the secondary weapons, and oh look, do you see a difference here? I definitely see a difference here. There's no air-to-air missiles on this one, is there? What a damn shame. Unfortunately, the Seahawk FGA-6, even though it has some really wonderful secondary armament choices, wasn't good enough to get the air-to-airs. So that is just something that we're going to have to deal with. We're going to have to suck it up. And yeah, it should have exactly the same performance as the German one as well. Quite a small aircraft, as I talked about before. It should be pretty nimble in the air. Now, let's get on to the Japanese. The Japanese is one of the things that a lot of people are looking forward to, so let's have a look at the first jet that is coming for them. The F-86F40 Jasdf Japanese. This is a complete copy, from what I can tell, of the one which is actually in the tree, the F-40 that you see right here. So, this machine is just a straight copy, as I said. The only difference is the AIM-9Bs, which you can find here. I wonder if this actually has been given AIM-9Bs as well. It has, so they've just copied it straight over and put a new skin on it. The skin looks nice. The machine is one of the best sabers in the game. I think it just slightly loses to the CL, but overall it is a really good saber. And the reason why people would buy this is so they could grind out this, the Mitsubishi T2. Now, I can't even explain how beautiful this aircraft is. It also goes 1700 kilometers an hour, which is nice. So that is something to look forward to. And it also starts off with a bunch of interesting stuff. So it has the Mighty Mice rockets. It also has some AIM-9Bs and some AIM-9Es, and what I like is the fact that you can take them by themselves. So one of the problems I was thinking of with the Mitsubishi T2 was that you wouldn't be able to actually take off just with the Sidewinders. So I thought instead they would make it so you'd have to take bombs, or you'd have to take rockets, and all of that. But no, instead you can just take the missiles themselves, so you don't knock off too much performance with it. One thing I do want to test though is the cannon, because it was talked about that it would need time to warm up, at least on members of the Discord, so let's see if that's true on this. You've got, like, maybe a quarter of a second delay, but it's not that much, and my god. It's a very powerful gun. Doesn't that look beautiful, though? Can we actually close them? Oh, yes. Oh, and it's got the radar as well. Everything is hunky-dory in this thing. Oh my god. Anyway, I'll do a separate video just looking at this vehicle itself. Don't worry about it. But I am very much looking forward to that vehicle. The next one is an Italian vehicle. We have two, actually, which is kind of a surprise. So we have the G91R4, which is a premium G91. So, my god, we're going to have another G91 in the skies. And you can see that it has 4 hard points on it, which are able to house either some air-to-air missiles or some AIM-9Bs. Are these missiles? Let's see, the AS-20 Nord rockets, it doesn't give a actual maximum overload on them, which is kind of interesting. Are these air-to-ground missiles? Let's have a look. Because if these are only on the premium version, that kind of sucks. But let's actually have a look. Let's see what this is all about. Yep, they are. So these are keyboard-guided missiles on a G91. Well, at least now we can say that America isn't the only nation which has air-to-ground missiles. The Italians also have them on the form of the G91R4. Unfortunately, it is on a premium version, maybe the G91YS, which is a Swiss version of the G91. I have no idea why they've picked this one, apart from the fact that it has two 30mm Defa 5.52s on it. You can see the Defas right here. And also the engines, they are 1230 takeoff thrust, and then you have J85GE 13A jet engines, but the Defas are huge. You can see how big they are, and you've got 250 ammunition, I suppose is the way to put it. A bunch of self-sealing fuel tanks all over the place. When we look at armor, there's a little bit on it, 3mm, 40 on the bulletproof, but overall, this thing, the main difference, of course, being the Defas, which people will enjoy. It also has access to the AIM-9Bs, but no air-to-grounds on this one. Interesting how they've made that a premium with air-to-ground missiles. The last one is two, actually. So we have the MD460, but also the Votor. So the Votor is coming into game as a premium, or this Votor is, I should say. This is the Israeli version of it, which did get access to air-to-air missiles. So you can see the Shafrir with the 4 air-to-air missiles if you want to actually have a look at the stuff on it. So the Shafrirs, they have maximum overload of 6 Gs, maximum speed on trajectory 800. Seems very similar to the AIM-9Bs, I should say. And I'm just wondering if they've added the ones to this as well. No, this doesn't get any air-to-air, so you're pretty much paying for air-to-air missiles if you want them or not. It also still has the 30mm Defa machine guns, 4 of them in the nose, something that the Votor is very much famous for in the game. Yeah, I was looking at the correct one. And then, of course, it has the Snecma ATA 101E3 jet engines alongside a quite complicated armor module, which is lovely to see, 13, 14, 6. The only thing being of any note here is, of course, the 50mm of bulletproof glass. An incredibly fast machine this is going to be. It's also got randomly 2mm back here, protecting what looks like the control surfaces. Overall, depending on this thing, if this gets an air spawn, I would be very worried. The MD460 is, of course, the top tier French jet that is being added. It has two Defa cannons in the nose under the pilot that you can see, with a massive air intake in the middle of it. And, well, it's very French, I think is the way to put it. It also has an interesting look on the back of it where the exhaust is, and the engine is the Snecma ATAR 101G2. A lot of thrust in this engine here, especially for the weight of this plane. So we should see some wonderful acceleration coming out of it, or at least you'd hope so, Now, that to me is something to look forward to. It also has access to AIM-9Bs and also the SNEBs that you can AIM-9Bs and SNEBs, sorry. So it does get access to air-to-air missiles and also some little rockets as well. Overall, it should be really fun to use, and it also has a lovely little pattern on it. It is 9.0 as well. I thought it would be a little bit higher, but instead they're trying it at 9.0. Anyway, I hope you have enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time. I did miss a vehicle because I'm a clot, so I'm talking about it right now. The SM92 is a rank 4 battle rating 4.0 vehicle, which is probably the one I'm most looking forward to because it's not a jet. Everything else is a jet. It has 3 20mm MG151 cannons, 4 12.7mm Breda Safat machine guns, and also some interesting flight characteristics because the cockpit is only on one side. It also has one of the machine guns back here in this little area, which is definitely not too maneuverable, but I think what we'll do is we'll have a look at this in a video by itself. I just wanted to show you the configuration of the guns so you know where they are. You've got two 20mm in the center, and then on the right hand prop hub you have a 12.7 and a 12.7, and then if we have a look over here, you got the other two 12.7s. So where is the other 20? My guess is that it's in this hub here. I just can't touch it. Or it could be in this hub here. But I don't see the other 20, so we're going to go into a test drive and have a look. This is, as I said, the only lower tier machine that is actually getting added in this patch, which is weird to say. Yeah, you can see that the 20mm is in the prop hub on the right hand side as you're looking forward. You can tell by the traces. But it should be a fun machine. I am hoping it's a fun machine. As a person who isn't too interested in the top tier stuff, this is the only thing that I really have going for this. It does have some bulletproof glass and a decent speed behind it and everything else. So we'll have to see how it handles. My guess is that it will feel a little bit unbalanced. Anyway, I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time.